Hey everyone, Guppy Girl here, and in this video I'm going to be going over how I grow moss in this moss only grow out tank. The water's a little bit brown right now because I use a lot of different types of wood and some of them are leaching out some tannins. But other than that, what I want to show you is this top portion up here. You can see here, it's not the prettiest thing. We have some suction cups holding up these little logs, and when I first started these, they didn't have nearly as much moss. It was just maybe one or two sprigs laid flat, and you can see now we have so much moss dangling down. This is mini Christmas moss right here. I even tied a little Java fern because I have a million little baby Java ferns everywhere. But yeah, this is super cool and really great for shrimp and anything else that kind of will utilize any part of your tank. But this is the back here, just showing you that the growth is mostly on the front of the log because the back is squished to the side of the glass here that probably doesn't get as much light. And yeah, just stick it to the back, or side I should say. The one I'm probably gonna be taking out here is this one, and this one is absolutely massive. I believe this one is Java moss. It's a little stuck. There we go. Yeah, I believe this one is Java moss. It has taken up so much room, has grown so much. Like when I did all of these, they all were about the same size of moss. This one has grown so much more. I think the growth is due to the sponge filter being right there. So I think it's giving it a little bit of a current through the moss, and it's been very, very happy with that. So I'm gonna move this over and just show how easy it is to put in any other tank. Here is my little pond tank. I'm not exactly sure where I'm gonna put it yet because it's like, where do I put it where it's not gonna be blocking too much light? But I think here might be good. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, this one is also on a log. Let's see if I can get some light on this. It's hard to see, but there is some wood underneath all of that. And that is the back portion. So let's just plop it in and you'll see how massive it is. I'd say the hardest part about moss is that it loves to collect detritus and dirt and get a bunch of hair algae. I've been pretty fortunate to not have to deal with too much hair algae, but there is some, so that is looking pretty good. The fish are already checking it out. I'm sure in no time I will have shrimp all over here trying to take out all of the little goodies they find. And I even saw a few little least killifish. Oh yeah, there they are. They're so tiny. Looks like they're having a good time exploring the moss. And one thing I really love about moss is that it'll attract a lot of little microorganisms, or very small organisms I should say, because they will be almost nearly impossible to see with the naked eye for most of these guys. And that is what these little killifish love to snack on. And yeah, that's the moss. I think I kind of went over everything I want to talk about moss growing out. Ideally, oh yeah, a few questions I might get from people. This is like the specs of the tank. The tank is kept at a TDS of 78, although I'm trying to increase it because I want to move the fish over here. I find a low TDS actually helps grow the moss without any pests, like you know, pest algae. I could be wrong about that, but I did this setup before for the first time in a 10-gallon tank, and that worked really, really well. And that also had a very low TDS, and I never had a problem. Also, a little bit less light. This tank looks really dark right now because, well, these mosses here are shading the bottom, but also there are quite a bit of tannins in here. It definitely helps to use wood that has already sunk and leached its tannins, and is still leaching some stuff, which is fine. Just gotta do more water changes. What else? Oh yeah, the lights are on for 12 hours a day. This is a very cheap Nicro LED light. It's hard to see, but it's mostly white with a few red, blue, and green diodes. So if that helps you guys out, it's pretty cheap aquarium light. No substrate, so you can see here there's a lot of little shrimp poopies and a mulm all over the bottom here that I suck up about once or twice a week when I do the water change. Doing a water change is about 50%, like with all my tanks, and I try to match the water. I add a little itty bitty pinch of fertilizer, and I've been doing a little more nitrogen fertilizer. Haven't really noticed too much of a difference yet with the moss, but you know, it's a process, it takes some time. And inhabitants, we got shrimpies, you guys probably noticed. I also have a shelf here, which is very simply done. There's some suction cups. The shelf is made out of egg crate, and the egg crate comes with these little brackets to suction cup to the side of the tank, but they sometimes unstick, so I've been using these really simple little sticky hooks, and you can see I've tied some fishing line and made like a little shelf. I think the moss I've been growing so far likes soft water, and for me personally, so I guess this is kind of going into my other video, a little bit of moss growth types and how to time to wood, but you kind of have two different types of moss. The moss that will grow straight up, so that's kind of, or mostly, you know, growing up, so that's a lot like this Physidens moss. I can't remember the name of this one. It's like a tinier Physidens. I think it's Taiwan. Okay, don't quote me. I think it's Physidens Taiwan. And so yeah, you get mosses like that grow straight up. I would say there's another one over here that kind of grows straight up. This one is kind of growing straight up, but you know, this one would probably do better on the wall. But the reason why I have the shelf is for the mosses that grow straight up like this, so they won't be branching out, right? And then for these mosses here, I like to have them on the wall separate from the rest of the moss, because you can see here they like growing little dangly bits. And this is really good for Java moss. I'm guessing Taiwan moss would be similar. This is Christmas moss. So yeah, all the mosses that have, you know, little dangly dangles, you know, they grow down, they'll want to encompass and grow into a bush rather than just a straight up little stalk. So that is why I try to grow the bushier, fuller mosses on this side, and that's why I have a shelf here. And same thing for the bottom ones. It's not exactly a shelf, but you get the idea, like they're all kind of growing straight up. Like this is, can't remember the scientific name, but this is hooker moss. This is another Taiwan moss, this is another Physidens spliach or something like that. And then of course, classic flame moss grows straight up like this, which is basically what flame moss does. So yeah, that's a few different types of moss there I threw at you, and you know, two different types of growth. Some grow straight up and some like to bush out, exactly like why we got this Goliath piece of moss now. I think it's been growing for about 2 or 3 months, and it started off with like 3 pieces, so pretty easy to grow. Give them light, give them a little bit of water. My hunch is that this one grew so big was because it was close to the sponge filter, so water was getting pulled in through it. So I'm gonna probably try another moss growing experiment with maybe more sponge filters, or just a straight up little pump that would very gently push water through all of the little moss bits, and I think the moss would probably grow even faster. Anyways, enough of me rambling. Later. So why do I like moss? These sometimes unsightly, jumbled up messes of green house a wide variety of beneficial microorganisms, helping us get one step closer to a natural ecosystem. As always,
take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.